Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Okay, we've literally all been there, right? You spend hours mastering those heavy grammar books, you completely ace the written tests, but then, the second a real, living human being says hello to you, your mind just goes totally blank. Well, today, we're unpacking a really fascinating framework from Bookish English, and it shifts language learning entirely. We're going to move away from that stressful academic grind, and we're building a mindset to action blueprint that transforms how you actually use English in your daily life. Let's get into it. So, to actually fix this, we first have to ask ourselves, why do we freeze when speaking a new language? I mean, most of us instantly blame our intelligence, right? Or our memory. We tell ourselves, oh, I'm just bad at languages, or I didn't study enough. But the truth hidden in our source material is that the biggest barriers to fluency are actually psychological. They're not intellectual. It's this deep-seated fear of judgment that literally hijacks your brain's language center. That anxiety of not sounding perfect, it acts like a giant padlock on the vocabulary you already know. It builds a wall in your mind and completely blocks the words from ever coming out of your mouth. Okay, let's dive into this roadmap. First up, we have the grammar book trap. Then, language is a garden. Third, the power of shadowing. Fourth is thinking in English daily. And finally, real-world English confidence. All right, section 1, the grammar book trap. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what we're talking about. Traditional schooling teaches us some pretty limiting habits. Just look at the rigid lists and the heavy burden of that grammar-first approach. It basically treats language like you're building a machine from a technical manual, which creates immense stress and honestly just makes your head hurt. On the flip side, a living language thrives on organic voices, feelings, jokes, mistakes, human connection. You don't build a language inside your head like a piece of machinery. It requires real messages, real stories, and real emotions that you can actually understand and relate to. Moving on to section 2, language is a garden. So, the crucial point here is that we need to stop viewing language as an engineering project. As the sources note, a language is not a list of rules. It's a living thing. It grows slowly inside you, a lot like a plant. And just like a plant, it needs a safe space to take root. Think about how children learn their first language. They definitely don't study textbooks. They just listen, they observe in a safe environment for months. Having a silent period, a quiet time where you're just listening, nodding, and taking things in, is completely natural. You aren't failing by being quiet. You are simply gathering the seeds for your garden. Okay, section 3, the power of shadowing. So once those seeds are planted, we need a bridge to speaking and shadowing. Shadowing is that ultimate bridge. The definition is super simple but deeply, deeply effective. It's listening to spoken English and copying the sound, the rhythm, and the feeling with a slight delay. It's almost like you're the speaker's echo. The absolute magic here is that shadowing completely bypasses mental translation. You literally don't have time to process the words back into your native language. You just have to ride the wave of the English audio. And doing this builds incredible speed and fresh neural pathways right in your brain. Let's break down the exact steps so you can start using this today. Step 1. Listen to simple, easy English without any stress whatsoever. Step 2. Repeat instantly with the speaker, just like a shadow following a person walking. And step 3. Actually, this is absolutely crucial. Don't just act like a parrot. Really feel the meaning and the rhythm of the words in your chest. If you practice this for just 5 to 10 minutes a day, it's basically like going to the gym for your mouth and your brain. It trains them to work together seamlessly, locking in that memory without the paralyzing fear of finding the perfect grammar. Next up, section 4, thinking in English daily. Let's move to the next concept and see how this builds. To break down the wall between your everyday thinking and your new language, just look at how simple habits can build throughout an ordinary day. You don't need dedicated, rigid study hours. You just attach English to the life you're already living. At 8 a.m., as you get out of bed, simply narrate in your mind, I am waking up. At 1 p.m., tell yourself, I am eating lunch. And by 8 p.m., you can reflect and say, I am grateful for today. This self-conversation maps simple mental narrations right onto your daily routines. It turns your private thoughts into this immersive English environment, creating a super powerful habit without opening a single textbook. But hey, there is a trap here, and it's the voice inside our own heads. Often learners use what we'll call the negative voice. You know the one, my English is terrible, I will never learn. When you shame yourself like that, your brain literally closes its doors to learning because it feels like it's under threat. That psychological block we talked about earlier, it snaps right back into place. You absolutely must replace that harsh critic with the gentle teacher.
Tell yourself, I am learning, I am growing slowly. Emotional English is so incredibly important here. When you use gentle, supportive sentences, you keep your brain open, relaxed, and ready to absorb new patterns.
Finally, Section 5, Real-World English Confidence. Now, what's really interesting about this is that taking these techniques out into the wild doesn't require advanced grammar at all. Notice how these armor phrases rely on simple, reliable tools that are just ready to go. Real-world confidence isn't about giving some flawless, grand speech. A simple, "Excuse me, can I ask you something?" opens any conversation respectfully. "Can you speak a little slowly, please?" That is your shield when someone talks too fast. It totally protects your understanding without any shame whatsoever. These short practice sentences conquer real-world anxiety instantly because, well, you aren't desperately searching for words. You already have your armor on. So, how do we make sure these armor phrases are actually ready when we need them? By pre-practicing. Step 1. Mentally visualize a small scene in your day. Imagine standing at the bus stop, feeling the weather, seeing the people around you. Step 2. Prepare a short sentence in your mind, something like, "The bus is late." Step 3. When you actually go out into the real world, speak a short phrase out loud. Your brain won't panic because, neurologically speaking, it feels like you've already survived this exact conversation. The brain doesn't truly know the difference between vivid imagined practice and real practice. This mental visualization, it's literally a cheat code for social confidence. As we wrap up this explainer, let's bring it all back to that beautiful core metaphor from our sources. Tend to your language garden. You can't shout at a plant to make it grow faster, right? And you can't force fluency through stress and pressure. Fluency is a slow, beautiful process of daily care, gentle self-talk, and patience. And please remember, when you inevitably stumble, those mistakes are just fertilizer. They are not failures. They're the essential nutrients that help your language abilities take much deeper roots. So, I want to leave you with this final thought as you go about the rest of your day. What one small sentence will you speak to yourself today? Seriously, don't wait for the perfect moment, and definitely don't wait for perfect grammar. Find a mirror, walk to the kitchen, or just close your eyes and speak one simple truth in English right now. Thanks so much for joining me on The Explainer, and keep tending to your garden.